Your brain is actively using your deepest moments of panic to build a physical, structural shield against future trauma. Right now, as you stress over deadlines, life changes, or the overwhelming pressure of daily demands, your neural pathways are not breaking down. They are performing a high-speed architectural upgrade. We have been taught that stress is a slow poison killing our brain cells, but the raw neuroscience reveals the exact opposite. Acute stress is the ultimate biological catalyst for cognitive evolution. It is the only force capable of forcing your prefrontal cortex to completely rewiring its neural architecture in real time. By understanding the precise neurochemical gears that turn when you feel overwhelmed, you are about to gain the ability to manually override your survival instincts. We are going to map out the exact neural highway that runs from the depths of your ancient survival centers straight to your logical prefrontal cortex. You will discover how a master key neurochemical called neuropeptide Y acts as a biological shock absorber, and how you can actually train your brain to release more of it. We are not talking about ignoring your problems or pretending to be positive. We are talking about utilizing the raw, kinetic energy of your brain's survival systems to physically alter your brain structure, turning what felt like a mental breakdown into a massive cognitive upgrade. Think about the last time you felt completely overwhelmed, standing in your kitchen or staring at your laptop screen with your chest tightening and your mind racing. You probably felt like your brain was actively failing you, slipping into a chaotic, unhelpful frenzy. But beneath that uncomfortable surface, a highly coordinated, incredibly sophisticated biological program was launching. To understand why this happens, we have to look at how our brains are wired. Imagine your brain as a highly secure, modern smart home. When a potential threat appears, the security system does not just sound an alarm, it dynamically changes how electricity is distributed, powering down the entertainment system to channel all available current into the security gates and communication arrays. In your brain, the amygdala is that alarm system, and when it senses a threat, it triggers the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. This biological pathway immediately floods your system with cortisol and adrenaline, redirecting energy away from long-term projects like digestion and immune function and pouring it straight into your immediate survival systems. But here is where the science gets truly fascinating. Most people believe this chemical flood is purely destructive. In 2013, a groundbreaking study led by researcher Daniela Kaufer at the University of California, Berkeley, completely shattered this belief. Kaufer and her team discovered that moderate, acute stress actually doubles the growth of new neural stem cells in the hippocampus. Specifically, these new cells were born in the dentate gyrus, the precise gateway where your brain processes learning and memory. The researchers found that when these new cells matured, they directly improved the subject's learning and cognitive performance under future pressure. It turns out your brain is not fragile, it is anti-fragile. It is a biological machine that requires a certain amount of structured friction to maintain its operational integrity. Have you ever noticed how, after a massive crisis, your mind suddenly feels incredibly clear and focused? That is not a coincidence. That is the physical manifestation of those newly matured neural pathways coming online. When your brain is pushed to its limits, it releases a protein called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which acts like a super fertilizer for your synapses. This protein promotes the growth, maintenance, and connection of new neurons. Without the initial trigger of that stressful event, that biological fertilizer is never released. Your brain remains static, comfortable, and ultimately far more vulnerable to the next unexpected storm. Stress is not the enemy of mental clarity. It is the biological prerequisite for it. Now, let us look at the moment where your entire perception of human nature is about to turn completely upside down. We have been conditioned to believe that the ideal state of human existence is a peaceful, stress-free void. But that is a biological lie. Your brain does not want peace. It craves structured friction. When you actively shift how you interpret the physical sensations of stress, you trigger a profound biochemical shift that literally changes the ratio of chemicals flooding your brain. In 2013, psychologist Alia Crum of Stanford University conducted a landmark study exploring this exact phenomenon. She took two groups of people and exposed them to the same stressful environment, but primed them with completely different mental frameworks. One group was taught that stress is debilitating, while the other was taught that stress is enhancing. The results were astonishing. The group that viewed stress as an enhancing catalyst did not just feel better psychologically, they displayed a massive spike in the release of a hormone called dehydroepiandrosterone, or DHEA. This neurosteroid is the brain's natural antidote to the negative effects of cortisol. It actively accelerates neuroplasticity, speeds up wound healing, and protects the hippocampus from cellular fatigue. By simply changing their cognitive framework, their brains turned a toxic chemical storm into an active growth serum. Before you understand this, you are completely at the mercy of your physical sensations. When your heart rate increases, your mind interprets it as panic, which triggers more cortisol, which increases your heart rate further, trapping you in a destructive feedback loop. But after you grasp this neural reality, everything changes. The next time your palms sweat and your chest tightens, you recognize that your body is simply delivering highly oxygenated blood directly to your prefrontal cortex so you can solve a complex problem. You are no longer experiencing a panic attack. You are experiencing a performance upgrade. Your brain is transforming from a fragile glass ornament into a piece of tempered steel. The heat is not destroying you, it is forging you. This biological transformation is driven by a master key molecule called neuropeptide Y. Think of this peptide as a natural volume control dial inside your amygdala. When stress hits, neuropeptide Y is released to damp down the electrical signals of panic, preventing your emotional brain from hijacking your logical brain. In populations that exhibit extreme resilience under pressure, such as elite special forces operators, researchers consistently find significantly higher baselines of neuropeptide Y. They do not feel less stress. Their brains have simply learned to release the precise biological buffer needed to keep their logical systems online during the chaos. And the most empowering part of this neuroscience is that your brain can be trained to produce more of it. So how do we actually apply this profound neuroscience to your daily life? How do we build a highly resilient brain that thrives under pressure? First, we must implement a technique called the cognitive reappraisal of arousal. The next time you feel the physical symptoms of stress, you must consciously and verbally rename them. Stop telling yourself that you need to calm down. Trying to force yourself to calm down when your body is flooded with adrenaline is like slamming on the brakes of a speeding car. It creates cognitive whiplash. Instead, redirect that energy. Tell yourself, my body is preparing for battle. My heart is beating faster because it is fueling my brain with the oxygen needed to crush this challenge. By doing this, you instantly signal your prefrontal cortex to release DHEA, shifting your biological state from threat mode to challenge mode. Second, you must master the physiological sigh. When the biological pressure becomes too intense and you feel yourself slipping from high energy into total overwhelm, you need an immediate physical circuit breaker. Take a deep double inhale through your nose, followed by a long, slow exhale through your mouth. Let us do that together. Double inhale and then let it all go. This specific breathing pattern, identified by neurobiologists, rapidly deflates the tiny air sacs in your lungs, allowing carbon dioxide to dump from your bloodstream almost instantly. This immediately triggers the vagus nerve, sending a physical signal to your heart to slow down. It is a highly effective manual override switch for your nervous system that stops the amygdala from hijacking your thoughts within seconds. Stop resisting the heat. Third, you must build a progressive stress inoculation protocol. Just like physical muscles, your brain's resilient systems require progressive overload to grow. If you avoid all discomfort, your baseline of neuropeptide Y will steadily decline, making even minor inconveniences feel like catastrophes. Actively seek out small, controlled doses of discomfort, whether that is a cold shower, a challenging physical workout, or tackling the hardest task on your desk first thing in the morning. By voluntarily stepping into these micro-stressors, you are giving your brain the raw material it needs to practice its rewiring process. You are teaching your neural pathways that discomfort is always followed by recovery, cementing a deep, structural belief in your own capacity to adapt. Your brain is constantly writing code based on how you react to your own discomfort. Take a moment to let that sink in. Every time you face a stressful situation and choose to view it as a biological upgrade rather than a threat, you are rewriting your internal software. You are no longer a passive bystander in your own mind, desperately hoping that the world becomes less challenging. You are a mental sculptor, using the very friction of life to carve out a stronger, more capable version of yourself. Your anxiety, your racing thoughts, and your pounding heart are not signs of weakness. They are the sound of your brain's evolutionary engine revving up, ready to forge the neural pathways that will carry you through your next great challenge. You now possess the biological instruction manual for your own resilience. The next time the pressure mounts, you will not shrink back, you will step forward, knowing that your brain is waiting for that exact moment to reveal its hidden power. If you want to continue decoding the hidden biological forces that drive every habit, emotion, and decision you make, subscribe to Habit Decoded. There is an even deeper, more silent process occurring inside your mind right now, a subtle sensory illusion that is quietly directing your daily desires and choices without you ever realizing it. We will uncover exactly how that works very soon. Until then, step into the heat and let your brain build.